Hello and welcome to today's financial news, brought to you by Forex, a multi-regulated Forex broker. Here's what's happening on the markets today.
Apple stock fell 1.2% on Monday, July 14th, closing at $208.62, as investors reacted to continued weakness in tech valuations and cautious sentiment ahead of upcoming earnings. The UK stock market index climbed over 0.6% to a new record of £9,000 on Tuesday, outperforming other European indices hit by Trump's tariffs. WTI crude oil futures dropped to around $66 per barrel on Tuesday, extending losses from the previous session after Donald Trump gave Russia a 50-day deadline to agree to a ceasefire. The British pound changed hands at $1.34, hovering at its lowest level in 3 weeks, after the Bank of England signaled the central bank is prepared to make deeper interest rate cuts if the labor market weakens further. Ether dipped below $3,000 due to a combination of regulatory uncertainty, rising competition from altcoins like Solana, and investor rotation into Bitcoin. Now let's review the major economic events of the day. At 9 a.m., Germany to release the Economic Sentiment Index for July, following 47.5 in June. At 12:30 p.m., the annual inflation rate in Canada is expected to decrease, after reaching 1.7% in May. At 12:30 p.m., the U.S. will release figures for the annual inflation rate of June, following 2.4% in May. Tomorrow's major economic events. At 6 a.m., the UK to release the annual inflation rate for June, following 3.4% in May. At 12:30 p.m., the producer price inflation in the US is expected to increase, after reaching 0.1% in May. At 11:50 p.m., Japan will release figures for the balance of trade of June, following a trade deficit of 637 billion Japanese yen in May.
And that's it for today's market news roundup, presented by Forex. Thanks for joining us today, and be sure to tune in again tomorrow for more financial news.